Hello there.
Hello.
Janey's not really exaggerating when he said that I begged him to come here and perform tonight. There's maybe 10 or 14 days where I just offered to fillet you on Facebook. Well, not fillet on Facebook, but I offered on Facebook. You get the anyways, I'm really excited to be here tonight. I have a new book coming out in February called Fight Song. I'm going to read an excerpt from the middle of it, which I think should make sense.
Do you need light?
I'm as blind as a rattlesnake. Actually, I don't even know if snakes are blind. Rattlesnakes blind? I can't see that well. All you really need to know is that the main character is named Bob Coffin, and he's just been kicked out of his house and is en route to his favorite fast food restaurant. Bob Coffin's first stop is Taco Shed. It's after midnight. He turns into the drive-thru, only one car up in front of him at the intercom. He waits patiently, but 2 minutes becomes 3, becomes 5, and 5 minutes waiting behind one vehicle in a Taco Shed drive-thru is unheard of, especially because Bob is steeped in this particular drive-thru's traffic patterns, as only a top-notch connoisseur can be. He toots the horn, which gets a whole heap of nothing as a response. He rolls down the window and says, "What are you doing up there?" Another horn toot produces zilch, and Coffin sees nary another option but to do some reconnaissance work. Throw the car in park. Wing open the door, approach the inexplicably idling vehicle. What Coffin sees is this guy in the driver's seat, passed out cold, sleeping with a whiskey bottle wedged in his crotch and $20 bills scattered about. But what he hears is a woman's scratchy voice coming from the drive-thru intercom and saying, "Oh, Otis, I got my panties down at my ankles and I'm ready to be mounted. Mount me, Otis! Otis, mount me something fierce." It's safe to say that this stops Bob Coffin dead in his tracks. More from the scratchy, raw lady voice coming sexy from the intercom. "Oh, Otis, I like my yen to yank my hair a bit when they come up from behind. Are you going to yank my hair a bit and drive me crazy, Otis, you old goat?" Bob shakes Otis, who isn't big on answering or moving, but sleeping soundly with some spittle on his face. Bob shakes him once more for good measure, and the scratchy, raw lady voice says, "Oh, Otis, I'm waiting for your hard taco meat to slide in my wet taco shell." "Hello," Bob Coffin says to her. "Who the hell's that?" "I'm a paying customer who's hungry, that's who." Then the voice pauses and makes some phony computer beeping noises. And then finally, in a robot voice, "We are experiencing some technical difficulties. Please keep in mind that the words currently reaching your eardrums from this malfunctioning intercom have not been approved by any sanctioning body." "You're not fooling anybody," Bob says. Then a dramatic exhale from her, and then, "Oh, fuck. Otis, you know the rules. You can't bring any friends along." "Pardon me," Coffin says to her. "I can't order because this fucking drunk is asleep in his car." The scratchy lady voice sighs. "Not again." "Not again? Just hold up a minute." Coffin looks at Otis, poor guy grabbing some shut-eye at the drive-thru intercom. In some selfish, sick way, Bob Coffin actually feels better. I mean, life could be worse, right? At least he doesn't binge drink and go dead to the world getting intercom phone sex at Taco Shed. He says to Otis, "Looks like you're going to have to jerk it the old-fashioned way tonight, my friend." Still nothing from the narcotized Casanova. Then the back door of Taco Shed opens and a woman with gargantuan muscles spilling from her official uniform storms out. Her name tag says Tilda. Coffin has seen this woman many times before and is always impressed with her muscles. She's probably 50 years old and too tanned, and Bob Coffin feels thankful not to be Otis, yanking Tilda's hair and mounting her from behind. "Hey, I know you," says Tilda. "You're here all the time, right?" "Well, not all the time." Yeah, totally. You're the Capitan of Mexican lasagnas." "Fuck, I guess I am." "Well, Capitan, I'd like to apologize for this strange man that I've never seen before. I am appalled by this strange stranger's action. And on behalf of Taco Shed, I'd like to prepare you a complimentary gourmet meal." Tilda puts a muscled paw through Otis's window and gives him a spank on the face, very hard. And Otis stirs awake and stretches with surprise. Then Tilda says, "Get away, you strange stranger! Get out of here before I alert the proper authorities to your inebriated state of mind. You are a public nuisance, and I'm aghast by this strange stranger's actions." A groggy Otis is pretty confused, but understands enough to make a quick run for it, moving the sloshing whiskey to the passenger seat. "What do you mean you don't know him?" Bob Coffin asks. "You called him by his fucking name." "Are you a cop?" "Do I look like a cop? Fuck, man, these days everybody looks like a cop. That's why it's getting so hard to break the law. Used to be police were all white guys with crew cuts and cheap shoes. You could spot them a while away, but these days, wow, I'm gonna need to see some ID." "Do you want to see some ID that tells you that I'm not a cop?" "Absolutely." "Do they make those?" "They sure as shit should." Then Tilda sort of loses her gall. "I can't keep up the charade any longer, cop. You got me, cop. I'll sign my confession, cop. I'll waive my right to a speedy trial." "Will you relax and make me something to eat? I'm not a police officer. I actually build video games." Bob Coffin thinks that maybe humor might set Tilda's mind at ease. The Capitan of Mexican lasagnas is no friend of the policia. "Typical cop behavior," says Tilda. "But I'm really hungry." Then she says, "This smacks of entrapment." "Wow, your paranoia has paranoia." "Well, you gum as much blotter acid as I did. You live the rest of your life convinced everyone's a cop." "I only want a Mexican lasagna." Tilda eyeballs Bob, probably searching for some sort of tell whether he's a cop or not. But realizing there's no way to know for certain, she says, "How about 3 Mexican lasagnas?" "That's a deal." Coffin nods and she says she'll go inside, prep the grub. He walks back to his car and pulls it up to the intercom and says, "And also a Coke." Tilda says, "The beverage will be complimentary as well on account of Taco Shed appreciating your patience with our malfunctioning intercom system. I'll deliver them personally to you out back once it's all ready." And soon, this strange woman opens the back door again and brings the booty of Mexican lasagnas. She hands Coffin his drink. Tilda has one Mexican lasagna for herself, too. It's a tortilla filled with refried beans, marinara sauce, and processed cheese. And that's when they both get busy chowing down. Thank you so much.